"What are you doing? Don't get into that car," my dad yells. He appears to have just gotten his front tooth knocked out. I step out of the gray Peugeot. There is something so dear about being 35, newly single, and your dad trying to save you from kidnappers in Ireland. Does it count as kidnapping if I'm old enough to be president of the United States? Older than Christ at his crucifixion? I am leaving a Bible study that I found while vacationing with my parents, because going to church groups is what you do when you're a minister. And going to Ireland is what you do when you get divorced and your dad is into genealogy. My life has not followed according to the family tree plan. And so on this trip, we are getting to know more not only about our Irish ancestry, but about each other. We have not taken a trip, the three of us, in years since I was a child. How well do they know me now? How well do I know them? Upon arriving in Limerick, we discover most of the shops near our hotel boarded up. And it's the first time I've seen so many young people who look like me, appearing to be homeless. It's rained every day we've been here, holding steady at windy, cloudy, and 49 degrees Fahrenheit in July. We need something other than the weather to lift our spirits. So on Sunday, we attend a storefront church that meets my dad's sole criteria, as close to Presbyterian as possible. The service feels a little dry, though, so I go into spiritual tourist mode, which takes me to this Bible study. I have a way of sniffing out the most underground prayer meetings and renegade religious gatherings. But worshiping wherever and whenever you want is something you give up when you become a minister. When I gave up on my marriage a few months before, I gave back my engagement ring. And in Ireland, I hope to find a cladog ring featuring a tourmaline stone, said to promote inspiration, overcome fear, and build confidence, bridging the world of the spiritual to the physical. And I am desperate for a bridge, something, anything to take me over from being a wife to ex-wife, from house to apartment, from little girl to grown-up. As a child, when my parents went out on weekly date nights, I'd stay awake until I heard the garage door open. I always prayed they'd come home safe, neither drinking too much nor getting into an accident. I don't recall ever actually seeing my parents drunk, nor did they ever not come home safe. But from ages 5 to 12, I was sure my prayers were the reason. They joked that I was more like their mother than their child. But maybe that's why I turned to a heavenly Father. I did not find my parents to be sufficiently vigilant. Always, I believed it was me protecting them. But now, 25 years later, my dad has a paternal look in his eyes so fierce, I fear he may punch the man stepping out of the Peugeot. Dad, I want to shout, don't worry. They're from the Irish Brethren Church, and I found them from the flyer on the window, and they don't have $1 to their name. But they take the Sermon on the Mount so literally that when Jesus says to loan to anyone who asks of you, they loan out all their tools to the neighbors, even though the neighbors never return them. And they offered me a ride to the hotel because it's getting dark, and it's downtown Limerick, and they prayed for me, Dad, and it's all okay. But I don't say a thing. I just bask in the forgotten glow of my Father's love, a love ready to come to blows to rescue me from my would-be Irish assailants. Bible in hand, the Brethren leader turns toward me with a look of concern. Do you know this man? He asks. As my dad gets closer, I realize that missing tooth is actually just a piece of food stuck over one of his incisors. A piece of black olive, by the look of it. Yes, I laugh. I think I do.